Okay, everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to take a look at the Gamerverse Psylocke versus Thanos. So this Gamerverse series recently came out with various different characters in 2 packs, kind of recreating the Marvel vs. Capcom look without exactly being Marvel vs. Capcom. And I'm a big Psylocke fan, so I was happy to see that we're finally getting a little bit of a thicker Psylocke that looks more like the game sprite art and stuff like that. And by chance, you get a really nice Thanos, it seems like, with this. So I live in Japan, so it was very hard to get this set here, as it's a Target exclusive, unfortunately, but luckily I was able to get my hands on one. So we'll just take a really quick look at the box here. We get a nice window showing both the characters and their various accessories. These are Marvel Legends Series figures. And if you're under 4 years old, please do not play with this. On the back, we get a little write-up of the characters, which is nice. And then we get something kind of recreating the game look without actually using images from the game. And you can see they're actually showing some of the other characters available. So Wolverine, War Machine, of course Thanos here, Silver Samurai, Omega Red. All pretty cool ones, but this was the main one I wanted to get. On the top, just Gamerverse. On the bottom, just technical information. See if I can fit this in the frame here. So on this side, we get some new Psylocke sprite art that is not from the game. And then we have her posed very much like the sprite from the actual Marvel vs. Capcom games. And on the flip side, we get Thanos doing the same sort of thing. We get some nice looking sprite art there and just his... I forget what his pose is in the game, but there you go. So let's crack these bad boys, well, bad girl and bad boy, open. Now, I've been a fan of Psylocke since, well, back in the comics, before the Marvel vs. Capcom games or anything like that. And yeah, her figures have been kind of hit or miss. They're pretty skinny most of the time. And, I don't know, older Marvel female figures were never the best. So it's nice to kind of find one of her that looks much better. And they don't come out super often, Psylocke figures. So I thought this is the best chance to get a really good one. In it, you get a nice kind of training room level design, that grid. I guess we'll run through Thanos first, because he's so big. So this is a pretty sizable Thanos. He's heavy too, he seems pretty solid. We get the nice bright colors there. It seems like, I don't know how well that picks up on the camera, but it seems like he's got a bit of a shimmer to this plastic, which is a nice touch. Actually, all of it, all this orange has like a little bit of a sparkly look to it. And then he's got this very vivid purple, which is similar to his face. Close up, you get this great looking grimace. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of this is reused from another Thanos mold, but I don't have a Thanos, so it seems like a good chance to get a nice looking one. Really great detail there. He's very evil looking. This is like a softer plastic here, so I guess it doesn't get in the way of his arm movements so much. Now he's got his 2 normal hands here, but you can also get the snapping Infinity Gauntlet hand as well if you're so inclined to have him wipe everybody out. This skirt piece is also a soft rubber like the shoulder pads. As for articulation, yeah, not too bad there on the head. Can look side to side and everything. Arms go out about there. Can spin right around. Not too much range on these elbows, but it's because he's so gigantic. And he's got about that much articulation in the wrist. Not a ton, but once again, he's such a meaty character that I don't expect that much from him. As for the waist, he's got a bit of a crunch, and you can look up a little bit. Very proud looking if you have him like this. And what has he got up there? Not too much in the legs. He is restricted a bit by this skirt, but it's split here, so not too terrible. And he has a kind of a hidden swivel right up there. And a double knee joint, not too bad. He can almost do the splits. And, oh, he's got a lot of range in the ankle, that's nice. Yeah, He's probably quite poseable, actually. Probably his balance is really good. And to put this hand on, it should just pop off easy. And pop that one in. There you go. So if you want snapping your other characters away, they will be destroyed. So yeah, like I said, I don't have a Thanos, and I mainly got it for the Psylocke, but actually this is a pretty nice Thanos. I'm happy with him. He's got really clean, simple paint. There's not really any shading anywhere, but I think it works well for him. It gives him that really comic book kind of look. Okay, so on to the Psylocke. She comes with a lot of accessories compared to Thanos. Okay, so we will take a look at her in just a second. Let's just see what she came with. So first up are some nice ninja hands. These are really cool looking, kind of classic ninja poses. I like the double fingers there. And you know, these are to recreate the game look, but also it's just good standard ninja kind of hands. Action hands. Then we have various kind of her psionic powers effects here. I'm gonna have to see where these attach, but I think this is for like a striking attack, so this is trailing behind or something like that. I'm imagining her hand will slide in there somewhere, maybe. And then her kind of classic one that's on her hand all the time, which it seems like that probably slides up in there or something like that. I'll figure it out in a minute, but essentially like this. Also, we get her kind of energy eye mask that she sometimes gets when she's powering up and doing attacks, which you also get in the game, so that's a nice touch. And it seems like that's just going to slip into a space in her hair. We also get an extra head. This is her angry head. The hair is a little bit soft, and we got a lot of nice varied paintwork there. They went the extra mile, not making it super purple, but not just black either. Okay, so on to the actual figure. She looks really good. This is a really nice sculpt, much better than a lot of the previous ones that I've seen of her from the older figures. Up close, I like that face a lot. It's got a stern but still attractive kind of look to her. You know, she's angry, but still looking good. This also has the nice long hair behind with the purple. It seems the tips are kind of a little bit more purple. I wonder if this is going to be reused for other females, but these pieces are all sculpted on, actually. The belt is, the X is, and these straps are all sculpted, so this might be a little bit unique to her. So you can see she's much thicker than a lot of the previous female characters. They definitely tried to capture that look from the game that she's famous for. And just like the Thanos, really clean paint. You know, not really any shading to speak of except for in the hair, but overall it looks well done. Now her hip color and her leg color are actually a little bit different. Just kind of standing there, it's not super noticeable, but I think that just came from this being sculpted in this flesh tone and then this being painted over the purple. It would have been, same thing here actually, it looks like, on the arms. It could have been a little bit of a better match, but really, I think when it's just standing on the shelf, you're not going to notice it that much, so it's not a big problem. It's also kind of going on in this area as well. So, just to take a look at her articulation, let's see. She can look down about that much, not much up at all because of the hair, but side to side, you get a little bit of motion there. She's got some nice shoulders here, so she can get her arms relatively forward, like that. With the double jointed elbows and then these shoulders, she can almost cross her arms, which is pretty nice. As well as some kind of like, maybe she's reaching back to wind up for a punch or something like that. Looks good. Her wrists are quite tiny. I don't want to break that, but she does have a joint there. I might have to pop these out and kind of work them in a little bit. But she does have articulation in there. Interestingly, I can see it there, but I can't see it there. Oh, it looks like this one goes side to side. Yeah, like that. But this one goes kind of back and forth like that. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder why they did that. I think maybe that has to do with her effects parts that she's going to have. Torso, wow, not much crunch at all. She can go back, but can't seem to go forward very much at all there. Not too much range, but she can go side to side. But I guess to make up for that, she does have this abdomen crunch, so maybe around that much. And maybe back around there. She's going to work on her flexibility. As for legs, she's kicking about that far forward. but that far out, she can't quite do the splits. And back, well, she's got this booty, so actually her legs are not going back much at all. And her knees are double jointed as well. Oh, I didn't even realize she's also got a swivel right there on her thigh. I just noticed that now when posing them. And also pretty good range on her feet, kind of like Thanos. You can go side to side and everything like that. So let's try the alternate head on her. Yep, so there you go. You get slightly peed off and actually quite angry. And this, well, it doesn't allow for that much more range down because it still goes onto her back. So she still can't really look up. But still pretty good if you want to have her kind of an attack pose or something like that. I think that would work well for that. As for the eye effects parts here, it seems like it's supposed to slide just in there, but there's not much space for it. Ah, there we go. Okay, so you just gotta gently wiggle it in. It's a little hard at first, but if you just gently work it in, you can... that sounds wrong. Anyways, that's a cool effect. I like that with the angry face. It does look a bit like glasses on this side, but if you're posing her maybe looking that way or something, it's not quite as noticeable. Get it a little straighter, but yeah, that's a nice little touch. I don't think it fits on this head because actually you can't see her ears or anything, and there's no space for this, so it has to just be the angry face. So let's try her other hands on. So you can get her in the sprite pose. I forget what hand she has on this side in that, but let's see. Oh yeah, she balances just fine like that. Looks pretty good. Oh, and it seems like this hand was used maybe for somebody else to like hold a sword or something, but is this sculpted on or just painted? I think that's just painted, the glove part. So yeah, this might just be a generic hand to hold a weapon, but she does use a sword in the comics sometimes, so I suppose you could include that if you wanted. So I'm not sure exactly how this is supposed to be put on. Maybe I can find a thing online, but I'm not really one to pose figures with big crazy effects parts like this anyways, but I feel like it's supposed to be she's like slashing or something like that, and this is trailing behind, so however you want to figure out to put that on, have at it. But hey, I'm not complaining about these extra things added on. It's always welcome, but it's kind of unwieldy and crazy looking. This, however, looks pretty nice. So this is the kind of the knife that she has, the psionic knife or whatever, the psychic knife, and that looks nice. That might be a good way to pose her. Something like that looks actually pretty nice, having her just sort of a stern face and having this thing next to her. Looks pretty good. So you can really get a sense of just how massive he is. She's pretty normal figure size. He is gigantic. But I'll pull out some other figures and we can compare the scale here. We got some Marvel Legends figures for comparison here. We've got the green suit Phoenix, who's a little bit taller than Psylocke. And then we got the huge Grey Hulk, who is pretty massive still and stands around a head or so taller than Thanos. And some more Marvel Legends. We've got the Astonishing X-Men Cyclops, Captain America Ultimate, and then the Steve Ditko Spider-Man, who all seem to scale generally pretty well. I suppose Cyclops should be a little taller than Psylocke there, but he is taller, so it's not too bad. So here they are compared to some Mafex characters who scale well with Marvel Legends. We got Gambit, Magneto, and Brown Suit Wolverine. So there you go. I almost gave up getting this set, but I'm happy I did because they are great figures. Probably the best Psylocke that they've made yet, and a really nice looking Thanos. If you happen to not have one already, well, there you go. So if you have any questions about these or anything, feel free to leave them in a comment below, and I will do my best to help out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.